Hey everyone, welcome back to 996 The Howl. The vibes continue to be immaculate for the Utah Mammoth this offseason. Yesterday they announced the signing of both Russians who just won the KHL championship in defenseman Dmitry Simashev and power forward Daniel Boot. These guys were drafted 2 years ago. To me, it feels like 3 or 4 years ago. Like 2 years is not that long, but in my head, I just feel like it's been years and years. I think that off season where, unfortunately the Coyotes relocated to Utah, that felt like two off seasons because it happened in April and then they didn't play until October. That felt to me like two off seasons. But in that 2023 draft, they drafted Simashev 6th overall, and they acquired a 12th overall pick in a Jacob Chikrin trade to Ottawa. Ottawa, what are you doing? I called it the moment the trade happened that Ottawa shouldn't have made that trade. Although Chikrin was a great player, but Ottawa fell immediately in the standings once they acquired Chikrin, and we acquired Daniel Boot with that draft pick. A lot of people, mainstream media, myself included, were all like, what is Bill Armstrong doing? These guys were barely on the radar in that draft, leading up to the draft. I think one or two outlets late in the game put these two guys on the map. But because they're playing in Russia, during COVID, Bill Armstrong and the scouting staff had to sneak to Belarus to watch these guys play, fell in love with them, and here we are 2 years later. They get signed to similar contracts. Now, it would be easy, and also want to say how fitting it is that for the two first contracts signed under the new name Utah Mammoth, they signed Mammoth men, 6'5", 203 pounds for the 20-year-old in Simashev, and 6'6", 216 pounds, also 20 years old for Daniel Boot. When, the names were announced, the whole list, Mammoth was my number 2 pick, obviously behind Yeti. And I said, you know what? Mammoth is really fitting for the vision Bill Armstrong has for this team. And now it's come to life and reality that this is going to be a Mammoth team, not only in the name, but on the ice as well. So it should have been as simple, these two players signed 3-year entry-level contracts, but it was very complicated. We didn't get the final details until 6 or 8 hours later. So let's get into it. Their cap hits, well, pretty much everything is the same for these two players, like I said already. The cap hit for both players, $950,000. Their salaries, $855,000, and they get a signing bonus of $95,000. Then they get performance bonuses, Schedule A. And what is a performance bonus? So in each year, you can achieve one of the, well, for Simashev, it's the defense bonus. For Boot, it's a forward bonus. For each one you achieve, you get $250,000 to a maximum of 4, which equals $1 million. So you only get capped at $1 million, even though if you achieve all of these, you still only get $1 million. I know I'm skipping the European assignment. We'll get to that later. But for Simashev, 10 goals. If he gets that, he gets an extra 250 grand. Same with 25 assists, 40 points. Top 4 time on ice for defensemen. And that could be total time on ice at the end of the season or per game time on ice in a season. But minimum 42 games have to be played for that to count. And for me, Simashev, he'll probably be in the top 4. So that should be an easy one for Simashev. Top 3 in defensemen in plus minus. Again, minimum 42 games played for that to count. And a .49 points per game, which is equal to 40 points, just about in an 82 game season. And again, has to play over 42 games played. So if he has a .5 points per game percentage, but only played 40 games, it won't count. Top 2 in blocks for defensemen. And then these, I doubt he'll make it, but it would be an unbelievable story if both these players can A, make the All-Star game, B, the All-Star MVP, and make the all-rookie team. Maybe the all-rookie team is achievable. I'm not sure about the rookie class heading into next season. There's really no one jumping off the page to me other than the first 2 overall picks coming up at the end of June. I think Misa and Schaefer will be top 2. Maybe they're pretty good and they could make the all-rookie class. For Daniel Boot, for the forward, I think it's a bit harder. Like 10 goals, 25 assists for a defenseman, pretty achievable. But, 20 goals, 60 points for a forward, a little bit harder for a forward. Top 6 in time on ice for forwards. Again, 42 games played minimum, and it could be total time on ice or per game time on ice. Top 3 for forwards and plus minus. Again, minimum 42 games played. 0.73 points per game. That's pretty tough. And again, 42 games played minimum. And the same all-star selections as Simashev. For the European assignment clause, it kicks in the 2026-2027 season as confirmed by Chase Beardsley or Birdsley. Great stuff there, because initially it was only Simashev that had this European assignment clause, but later came out that Daniel Boot has the same clause. What this clause is, it is a player's choice that if he gets sent down to the minors starting in 2026-2027, the player can opt to go to Europe instead of being assigned to the Roadrunners if it is the Roadrunners in that season. So again, it's a player's choice. It's not automatic that he'll never go down to the minors. And if he plays in Tucson or Europe, he'll get paid $82,500. Same goes for Daniel Boot. So what can you expect from these players? I have a quote here from Dmitry Simashev, reported by Craig Morgan. Here it is, a great quote. Simashev says, "First of all, I just want to play in the show, but I don't want to be just an NHL player. I want to be one of the best players in the NHL. I want to work right now. I can't just sit and sip from the KHL Cup and celebrate. I'm really excited. I need to be prepared for next year." Seems like this guy's a gamer. He wants to win. And during their final championship, Sergachev went overseas to Russia to cheer Simashev and Boot on. Sergachev had lunch, dinner with Simashev. He's been shepherding Simashev when they both come over to Utah. I'm sure Sergachev will play a big role. I mean, how great is it that you have a native Russian on your new team in North America? It's going to be a big cultural and life change for both these players, moving at 20 years old from Russia, where they've been their whole lives. So it's good that they have Sergachev there to help them. They also have Artem Duda down in Tucson if they have to go to Tucson, so he should help them there as well. Simashev, a big, tall, towering defenseman with a long stick. He's got great hockey IQ. He is a great skater for his size, and he closes gaps really well. And it's a very unique type of defenseman, a really tall, mobile defenseman, which Bill Armstrong has been trying to draft for years. We've seen that in Lamoureux, Kesselring, he acquired in a trade for Bukestad a couple years ago. Simashev is one of them, but he's trying to get towering defensemen with long sticks. Daniel Boot, like I said, a power forward. He attacks the inside of the ice. He is not a perimeter player, and he's pretty trustworthy with the puck. He doesn't make many mistakes, and he doesn't cheat on the offense. He's pretty much, to me, whenever I read about him, seems like a Josh Doan type of player, but maybe with a little more aggressiveness and attacks the ice more consistently. Maybe, Bill Armstrong says Boot reminds him of Tage Thompson. So, I mean, if he reaches Tage Thompson levels of quality, that would be incredible for the Utah Mammoth. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, spread the word. And as always, thank you for your support.